A portion of this video is sponsored by LastPass. What's up guys, David here, and the OnePlus 7 Pro and the Galaxy S10 Plus already went up against each other in our speed test, where OnePlus was able to take the crown away from Samsung to become the new speed test champ. And today, it's looking to take another title away from the S10 Plus. This time it's titled as the PhoneBuffstyle battery test champ. Now, as you guys probably already know, our battery tests take a lot of time to conduct. We test over multiple days, and we even reran the S10 Plus's test again after it received some software updates. So I wanted to give a big thanks to LastPass for sponsoring this video and allowing us to bring you the extensive testing that you know and love. So we've all been through it. You try to log into a website or an app and you get that dreaded error message to try again. So you try another one of your passwords and then another one, and you basically repeat this process over and over again until you either finally get in or you get locked out of your accounts, which is frustrating. But with LastPass, it doesn't have to be that way. LastPass can remember an unlimited amount of your passwords for you, not just freeing up your mental load, but also letting you log in with literally just a tap of your finger or a quick scan of your face, depending on the type of phone that you have, with the app automatically filling everything in for you. We actually tested how long it takes to log into a site with LastPass versus typing it in the old-fashioned way, and yeah, LastPass just makes things so much faster. Not to mention, because you don't have to remember all of your passwords, you can use the password generator to set up a different password for all your different accounts to seriously step up your security game, with additional measures for security like two-factor authentication supported. There's a paid version of the app that costs just $3 a month, and you know what's great is there's also a free version that still offers a lot of the features that you'd want, even the ability to sync across your devices. So click on that first link down below in the description to get LastPass for free and put your passwords on autopilot. Big thanks again to LastPass for sponsoring this portion of the video, but for now, let's get to the battery test. Okay, we'll start things off with the phone test, where we're making a 1-hour call on each phone. Considering that both phones being tested here are running on the same Snapdragon 855 platform, and that the displays are off for the majority of this test, I don't really expect there to be too much of a difference between the two. But after 1 hour, there is a difference, and a big one at that, with the S10 Plus dropping down to 94% and the OnePlus 7 Pro still indicating that it's at 100%. Now obviously this can't be the case. We know we used up some battery, so it's either just an inaccurate reading, or this could be OnePlus's way of sort of nudging people to charge their phones less by reducing battery anxiety. Either way, here in the messaging app, we're sending randomized messages to our chatbot, which is texting back with the same set of responses. To keep things even, we've set both phones to their maximum resolution, and of course, we've precisely calibrated each display's brightness to 200 nits. After 1 hour of texting back and forth, it seems like balance is restored, with the OnePlus 7 Pro dropping 15 percentage points down to 85%, and the S10 Plus dropping only 8% down to 86%. So it looks like that battery percentage indicator caught up with the OnePlus's real battery life, with this level being more in line with what you would expect. Here in the email test, we've been opening up unread emails to simulate how you read email in the real world, where after 1 hour of doing so, the OnePlus 7 Pro sees its battery drop another 10% down to 75, while the S10 Plus is able to create some separation for itself, with it only dropping by 8% down to 78, giving it a 3 percentage point advantage. So far, the results are in line with what I was expecting. The OnePlus 7 Pro does have a slightly smaller battery capacity at 4000 mAh compared to the 4100 on the S10 Plus, and its screen is also slightly larger with no hole punch or notch in sight. Here in the browser test, each phone is cycling through the same set of websites, with our robot also scrolling through these websites, again to better simulate how you browse the web in the real world. After the 1 hour browsing session, the S10 Plus is able to add onto its lead, with it now 5 percentage points ahead at 68% compared to the 63% battery on the OnePlus. We'll see if OnePlus can turn things around here in Instagram, where each phone is on the home feed and actually scrolling through the home feed just like you would in real life. And this is especially important here in this test, considering that the OnePlus 7 Pro does have that higher refresh rate at 90 Hz compared to the 60 Hz refresh rate on the S10 Plus. Now, while the higher refresh rate definitely leads to smoother scrolling, it does come at the cost of higher power consumption. And after 1 hour, the OnePlus 7 Pro did seem to consume more battery than the S10 Plus, with its battery dropping by 11 percentage points down to 52%, with the S10 Plus dropping by only 9%, allowing it to pull a full 7 percentage points ahead about halfway through this battery test. Moving on to the standby test, each phone will idle for 16 hours. This is a really important test, as if you think about it, most of the time your phone is actually on standby, whether it's in your pocket or sitting there on your desk. After 16 hours, the OnePlus 7 Pro sees its battery drop by only 11% down to 41, while the S10 Plus dropped by even less at only 10 percentage points down to 49, which is a definite improvement since we last tested the S10, presumably thanks to the software updates. Here in YouTube, we have both phones playing the same set of videos, with not only the brightness calibrated, but also the speakers calibrated to the same decibel counts to make sure things are as even as possible. And after 1 hour of YouTube binge watching, the S10 Plus has its battery drop by 11% down to 38, while the OnePlus drops by a little more at 12% down to 29. So as we head into the gaming test, things aren't looking so hot for the OnePlus 7 Pro. Slowly but surely, it has dug itself into a bit of a hole here, being almost 10% behind, and it's likely that its battery will take an even bigger hit here in Alto's Adventure, where again, that 90 Hz display may consume more power. This game does actually support higher refresh rates, so it's definitely going to be a better gaming experience on the OnePlus, but after 1 hour, it clearly comes at the cost of power consumption, with the OnePlus 7 Pro dropping by a whopping 16% down to 13, whereas the S10 Plus drops by only 12% down to 26, marking the biggest difference out of any test that we've done so far, and giving the S10 Plus a nice cushy lead as we simulate navigation here in Google Maps, where after 1 hour, the OnePlus 7 Pro is just barely hanging on with just 1% battery remaining compared to the 17% left on the S10 Plus. We'll see how far that last 1% can take the OnePlus 7 Pro into the Spotify test, where just over 3 minutes into the test, the phone finally gives out, while the S10 Plus still has 16% remaining. So a pretty big difference between the two. We'll go ahead and fast forward the S10 Plus, where it was able to make it through the Spotify test with 5% still left to go, which allowed it to get into the super intensive Snapchat test, where it survives 11 additional minutes before finally calling it quits. Okay, so with both phones out of juice, let's take a look at the results. The OnePlus 7 Pro was able to last 24 hours and 3 minutes, which is not bad, but definitely less than the 25 hours and 11 minutes the S10 Plus was able to last when you include the 16-hour standby, making the winner, and still the PhoneBuff style battery test champ, the Galaxy S10 Plus. Anyways, that is it for me in this video. Thank you guys for watching, and as always, I'll see you in the very next episode.